Hi, I'm Sam with Batch Stoves, and this morning I thought I would try to bake something that's probably a little exotic for being on the trail, but this recipe's not too complicated, and I think if you were doing a weekend trip or a kayaking trip or just a, overnighter, be great to have this for breakfast in the morning. So today I want to try to do a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. And we're going to be using the 12 centimeter dry baking combo and the Batch Stoves 1.1 adjustable flame stove. We're going to be using heat as our fuel. I've got 1 ounce of heat. And I realize that this probably is a little exotic for the trail, but I think for an overnighter or a little weekend trip, if you cook this the first morning for breakfast, I think it'll be great. Especially in cold weather, you could carry this stuff and it would keep. So I have some biscuit, buttermilk biscuit mix, and I'm going to be using my 10 centimeter dry baking dish. Now I did put some oil in here, but you could go without oil, but I wanted to get a nice brown to it, and it tastes better with a little oil. So you can easily put some oil in a little Ziploc bag, small Ziploc bag, and not be too much extra stuff to carry. So I'm going to put about half of that mixture in here and spread it around the bottom. Like so. And then what I have is some Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage crumbles. These are already pre-cooked. They come in a bag. I'm just going to throw those in there. Spread those around on the bottom, like so. And then I have an egg here. I'm just going to scramble this egg up, whisk this egg a little bit with a fork. Just pour that right down the middle. Let it go where it may. And some more biscuit mix. Oh, excuse me. A little bit of cheese. Now this is just your sliced processed cheese, but if I didn't have any cheddar cheese or anything, shredded cheddar cheese, if I did, I would have put that in there. I'm not really a big fan of this processed cheese, but whatever you have. And I'm just going to use about a half a slice of this. Break it into a couple of pieces. Put it on top. Like this. Let's get it up. You can just see, kind of put it in the middle. And then I'm going to put the rest of the biscuit mix on top. For my top half of the biscuit. Now this was about a half a cup of dry biscuit mix, and it was a half a cup of dry biscuit mix, I'm sorry, and just put that on there. You don't really need a whole lot, you got a lot of stuff here, so you can see it doesn't really cover the whole thing, but that's close enough. And then I'm going to be using my uh, 12 centimeter cook pot with just an aluminum, this is just a piece of aluminum liner that I cut foil liner that I cut into a little circle. Folded it, cut it in a strip, and folded it in half. This is about an inch thick, and I just dropped that into the bottom of my pot. It works really well. And like I said, I'm going to be using the BS 1.1. Just go ahead and get that lit. And then we'll just put the put the biscuit, sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit right into the 12 centimeter cook pot. And that's warm. Now once the stove gets going, I don't know if you can see it. It's not really, it's kind of bright in here, sorry. But once it gets going, we can turn the jets down to low and it'll just bake. Now I anticipate this taking probably about, it's at least 25 minutes to bake, I would say. Yeah, there it goes. It's on now. I don't know if you can see the flame. Let me there we go. Now you can see the flame. And I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Just barely leave the, you have to play around with it, but you can turn it completely down and it'll get a nice little wisp on the bottom. Like so. Close the jets completely. You can see how the flame dropped down considerably. We're just going to put that on. We're going to set us a timer for a reference, really, so we'll know how long it's been, but I suspect about 25 minutes. And we're also going to be using a carbon felt windscreen. Let's see, to help, mainly just to help regulate the temperature. You don't want it too hot, but you do want to trap some of that heat in for the dry baking. And we'll come back and check on it in 10-minute or so increments, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, we're at the 10-minute mark, and it's still cooking. I know it's nowhere near being done, so I'm not even going to bother opening it, but I just wanted to kind of show you 10 minutes in what the flame pattern looks like. And like I said, you can open this up a little bit and adjust the flame pattern, let a little bit more air in there, and that'll calm it down a little bit. But it looks fine the way it is, and we'll come back and check it around the 20-minute mark. Okay, so we're coming up on we are at the 20-minute mark. Let's see what kind of, you can see we're at 20 minutes. And you can see our flames still steadily going, wisping the bottom of the pot. Now this particular stove, the BS 1.1, on high with the vents open, you can boil 2 cups of water in the 8-minute range. And with the jets turned down to low, this stove will burn for over 30 to 35 minutes. And what's great about this stove is, me personally, I like to do a lot of rice dishes. And you can cook, you can let the water boil, throw your rice in there, turn it down to simmer, and just leave it alone. And when you come back, when the stove runs out of fuel, 1 ounce, your rice is done, cooked perfectly, and you don't really have to worry about anything. That's what's really nice about this stove. I like it. Now, like I said, we're at the 20-minute mark, and I checked it earlier, but let's check it again. And it was a little doughy on the top, so let's see where we're at now. Okay, it's starting to get hard, but it's still soft, and you can still, we're still wet. So I'm saying we're probably going to leave at least another 10 minutes or so. So what I'm going to do is just let this go until the 30-minute mark or so, or we'll see, maybe until the stove runs out, and then we should be good. So we'll check back again then. Okay, so we're at the 30-minute mark. And again, let's look and see. Maintaining our same 30 minutes. We're maintaining our same flame right there. And again, no, it's just 1 ounce of fuel that was in there. Let's see what our biscuits doing. Okay, it smells good. Looks like it's browning on the sides. Looks pretty good on the top. Not real sure, you know, it's kind of difficult to judge the sides, but I'm sure that we're pretty close to being done. And without the risk of burning it, probably should blow it out. But go to 35 and then we'll see where we're at. It looks like the stove is still going. I'm sure it'll last to the 35-minute mark, so we'll come back and check it in about 3 minutes. Okay, so we're at the 35-minute mark, and I think we're done. So I'm going to take this off, and your carbon felt's not, it's warm, but it's not hot at all. And that's what's great about this carbon felt. Now, if this was an aluminum windscreen, of course you'd have to let it cool off before you could touch it. Not only that, but it's really just I guess aluminum windscreen has a dual purpose. You could use it for a signal mirror or a windscreen. But carbon felt's great because you can put hot things on it and not burn yourself. You can hold your hot cup of coffee, or you can hold your hot pot or meal. If you have a campfire and you want to move something hot, rock or log that fell out of the fire, you could use this to pick it up, put it back in. So it has a lot of dual purposes, which is great around camp. Now the stove, as you can see, the stove is still going. We are at 36 minutes. I'm just curious really to see how long the stove's going to go. Oh, this is crazy. I don't know how long this is going to go. It's already 41 minutes and flame's still coming out of there. Of course, they've died down considerably. But it still gives you a nice little simmer. I think we'll, if it keeps going to 42 minutes, I think we'll blow it out and call it quits. Oh. Yeah, we're definitely going to make 42 minutes, so. If you can see it, it's just barely going. barely going, but of course we're past the 42-minute mark. So let's blow it out and call it a day. How about that? Oh, just went out. Yep, stove's out. 42 minutes, 30 seconds. 42:30. So, yeah, a little hot. But the stove is definitely out. The body's hot, but of course the flame wasn't hitting out here, so the legs are not hot. But 42:30, I think that's pretty good for a any alcohol stove. Interesting. Alright, well, now for our biscuit. Whew, it's hot. Now, normally I let this cool off. I can tell you right now, I probably cooked that just a little bit too long because it's a little golden brown on the sides, but normally with everything I bake, I have been letting it cool off. So, yeah, it's definitely cool. So, because of the cheese and the stuff, I'm going to go around the edges with this plastic knife. Hopefully this will pop right out. We'll see. We'll see what we got. Oh, well, didn't come out as quite as good as I thought. I left all the goodness stuck to the side here. There we go. Alright. Well, I got most of it off. But that's not going to be a problem to get out of the baking dish. It just didn't release the way quite as good as I wanted it to. But as you can see, not too bad, and that'll wipe all right out. And this is all edible here. It's definitely cooked. Yeah, it didn't quite come out as cleanly as I had hoped. When I've done biscuits in the past, they seem to come right out, so it has to be the extra liquid that's in the mixture, I'm thinking. Well, let's try it and see what we got. It's really good. It doesn't, I guess because it's more like a casserole, it doesn't really taste quite like a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. You know, you don't get those different layers. It's kind of all combined into one layer. A little bit exotic for the trail, but it's definitely good. So I'm Sam at BatchStovez. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and visit us at www.BatchStovez.com. Have a great day.